Hello guys, football talks. Liverpool 3, Leeds United nil. The only negative from this game was the youngster Harvey Elliott's injury. And I think one of Liverpool's old mistakes has come back to haunt them severely in this game, and it's looking like it will haunt them for the rest of the season. Liverpool, I think, need to rethink their transfer strategies and their principles of governing how first team players are recruited and allowed to play on in the team. You can't have a youngster like Harvey Elliott who is earning, with all due respect, peanuts with respect to what the senior players or the senior midfield players in Liverpool are earning, and then he's the one being asked to shoulder the responsibilities and pressures of Liverpool for the season, while other senior midfield players who are on mega wages, £100,000 and more, are sitting on the bench. There is no logic to this, and I think if Liverpool don't after this incident with Harvey Elliott, Liverpool don't start to rethink what they are doing with those midfield players who they have sitting on the bench, earning those big wages. I don't think they are moving forward in the right direction. You can't have senior players earning mega wages and then you're asking a 17-year-old or an 18-year-old to sacrifice his career, for the sake of the team because he's a young player, and at this stage of his career, such an injury to him can be much more costly than one can imagine because he's a young player. No one knows how he's going to come out of this. Even if he does come back physically, no one knows how this is going to affect him mentally. That's why these young players are not usually thrust into this limelight or the spotlight, so soon in their careers. They are introduced gradually to this level, to this pressure, and you have these senior players at Liverpool, who are earning big wages and they are not asked to shoulder the responsibility of the club. They are asking a 17-year-old is being asked, to shoulder the responsibility of the club, or an 18-year-old. It's not logical. I think everyone will be praying for him now, hoping that he comes back and that he's able to come back from this. But it shouldn't have even happened in the first place because he shouldn't have even been shouldering such responsibilities. I think it's poor management, or it's poor management on the part of Liverpool in general. It's something that I think this incident I think should make the whole club rethink what they are doing. Too many players are getting off with not having to do much. Too many players who are on big wages, signed for big fees, are getting off with not having to do much. And then the responsibility is falling to a youngster like him. It's painful and sad to see. All in all, it was a great game from Liverpool. Great game management, great game plan. Mane was not at his best, but he was still able to come through with a goal. Salah looked his best. Trent Alexander-Arnold looked his best, and Liverpool kept another clean sheet again. They are looking like the Liverpool we've come to, the see and adore under Jurgen Klopp. So their chances this season are looking good. I personally think the loss of Harvey Elliott may not be too. I think Liverpool will be able to cope with the loss of Harvey Elliott, but I think it will also affect them. They will also feel it because he looked like a player who, as he was going to keep on getting more game time this season, he would have been improving. But sadly, the mismanagement of Liverpool on this player's part has cost him this season. That's what it's looking like. It's very sad to see something like this, and I think Liverpool need to rethink their principles governing the first team. There are so many players who are on big wages, signed for big fees, and no pressure is being placed on them to deliver. Whether they play 10 games in a season or they play the whole season, it doesn't really matter. They're just gonna, keep on getting, they're just going to keep on getting their pay, and Liverpool don't even look like they're making any plans to move them on. It doesn't make any sense. Look at you can imagine Jordan Henderson getting a contract extension, as a senior player, one of the senior players in the team, and yet you're having someone like Harvey Elliott shouldering the responsibility of the midfield. That's one of the most difficult positions on the pitch. You know, playing behind the forward line and trying to link up with them, and also link up with the fullbacks who are making runs into the final third to deliver the final ball. It doesn't make any sense that this guy he's probably going to be on what 10,000 pounds a week, and then he's shouldering the responsibility that players who are earning 100 or 150,000 pounds a week are supposed to be shouldering. What is the logic behind this reasoning? So I think neutrals and both Liverpool fans will be devastated to see what happened to this guy, and everyone will be hoping and praying that he comes out of this unscathed and he is able to return to his best and also and continue with his development. But in the first place, this shouldn't have even happened, or the risk of this happening should have been reduced, because he shouldn't even be bearing this much responsibility. I would love to know your comments in the comment section below, guys. What do you think about Liverpool's prospects this season? What do you think about Liverpool's prospects this season with if Harvey Elliott had been able to play the whole season, and even now that he's injured, what do you feel? Where do you feel Liverpool can end up this season? I would love to hear your comment section below. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share also, please, at the end of this video. I'm looking forward to see you in the next game. Thank you very much. Bye.